First one is yes, global real-time solution provider. We provide mostly chat systems to customers around the world, and we develop them mostly these days on mobile devices. We are known for scalability, so we are known for being able to handle millions of concurrent users on the same platform for customers. And we reuse the same knowledge, the same experience to build our new push protocol today. Our new protocol, which is a push protocol to mobile devices, which is a complement to our real-time solution. So it's about pushing messages in real time to a various scope of mobile devices.
The idea behind OpenPush is very simple. So basically, you have an inbox, and this inbox, well, you can subscribe it to some public sources of information. For example, you have a favorite newspaper, and you can have it push information to your inbox. On the other hand, you can also ask, you can also allow selected publishers to send messages to your inbox. For example, you have a Twitter account, and you could imagine that each time you have a direct message or a mention, you'd allow Twitter to add a notification in your inbox.
The problem today with push to mobile is that there is many solutions provided by the device manufacturers, and you have to implement all of them to push to all of the devices. So this is the problem we are trying to solve, helping the developers pushing to a user, no matter how many devices the user has, no matter how many yes, type of device he has, and we want to enable the developers to push to a given user without knowing the brand of the mobile device. For the end user, it means that every message, every notification grows through the server. And it means that it can have a kind of unified inbox for notification, meaning that it can read all notifications from any devices. It can just mark a notification read on one device and does not have to read it again on another device to mark it read on the other device. So this is some kind of memory for all the notifications the user has received, and an optimized way to read those notifications. The second point is that it means that as the notification goes through the server, you can optimize the notification process and take context into account. So you can take geolocation into account to decide not to push a message or not. You can take time into account to decide to push the message. You can have also other parameters taken into account, like if you have received a similar notification quite soon before a new one, you can decide to just discard it. So this is something very powerful for the end user, and yes, the scope that you can, the feature and the scope that you can build on top of that is very huge and it's a huge benefit and comfort for the end user.
Well, the interesting thing about OpenPush is that basically all the bricks we use to build it are standard and really connect fantastically together. And it's very interesting because while we're building the application, we're not really inventing stuff. We are more connecting stuff and viewing that everything fits well. So we are quite happy with what we're doing. And the magical thing is, from the architectural standpoint, we're not doing much. We are really using the web technologies that are widely available. And that's going to help us really build a scalable platform, an easy to implement platform, and clients of all kinds will be able to consume and produce notification across the system.
One end of the platform are the mobile devices, and we worked on various set of mobile devices to be able to push everywhere. So we have been developing for iPhone, we have been developing for Android, we have been developing for WebOS. WebOS is very interesting because we share the same philosophy about the web becoming the center of the mobile experience. And we have also pushed the experience further, and we made a client for desktop. We made a client also for SMS, so you can push events to non-smartphone devices, to feature phones. So this is a very broad scope of devices that the services can push to, and this is very convenient for them to be able to target all those scope at once. The second end of the platform is the services that are pushing the event, that are pushing the content into the platform, targeting the users. And the scope is again very broad. It can be a website providing content, like a newspaper website like Le Monde or Libération. They can push to the device alerts without the need to develop their own native application on all the device. It could be an alert system by a Git development tool, for example. So this is very, very technical. But you could also imagine to push not only public content like news alert, but also private content. So you can imagine, for example, a to-do list management application that you can subscribe to notification where you are logged in, and the publisher knows that this subscription is linked to a private account and will only push to that device the private events, the private reminders of the to-do list, the data that you have created and no one else has access to. So you can push two types of content, private content and public content, which is very important to have all type of application possible.
The idea is to provide developers with technology enabling push to all the devices users have, using technology they already know. For example, HTTP, which is the most popular protocol. And beyond that, we've taken inspiration from, for example, the AtomPub protocol, which builds a publishing platform on the web. And many of the ideas we've put in OpenPush are extracted from this. Then we have all these HTML5 family of protocols which we intend to leverage. For example, WebSockets, which enable push to, for example, browsers, but we can push to anywhere, and is going to be the main way of delivering real-time notifications. And around that, we also have the notification systems of all the phones, the phone builders. We have kind of walled gardens, and we intend to unify all that using the OpenPush protocol. the advantages of OpenPush are twofold. First of all, regarding the other applications and push systems we existing, one of the things is we don't really want to replace them. We'd like to augment them. We'd like to use them if possible. For example, on the iPhone, you need to use the push system, the Apple push system. So we're going to use it. So that's the first thing. So we're not really competing. We are more unifying. The other thing is that we're going to aim for a very simple API, which is built on JSON, inspired by AtomPub. And the one thing that we are going to implement and that we think is missing in all those APIs we find elsewhere is that it's going to be connected. Meaning that when you go to the entry point of the API, which is basically the website of OpenPush, you'll get a JSON document listing all the links that you could follow to actually access the state of the system you have access to. For example, you could list all your inbox items, you could list the device that you use to connect and actually modify this list. And you don't need to read the documentation to know how to use that. It's embedded directly in the HTTP document that is returned to you.
One of the good points of our solution is that it's very cost effective for developers because it avoids the developers to implement a native mobile application for every device to be able to push to those device brands. So the idea is that you develop once for with mobile web technologies, either mobile web application that you install on the device, or pure web application that you browse, that you go to with your browser, and you implement that once, and you can push to all the devices scope that the user can have. So this is very cost effective because you can focus on one application development. We build this protocol to make it public, to make it open, and to make it so that our competition, even our competition, can reuse it to be able to push to the devices. So what we really would like is something like that is standard among developers. They can write for this protocol and be sure that they can switch provider if they want to. So this is really the core of our philosophy when we have built and designed this protocol. So we were launching a private beta today, and people can register for that private beta. Developers can register, and we will review those applications and select the proposal, the project that we prefer the most to work with this team to build those applications. Platform should be federated, so you should be able to have your own push provider by Process One to make Process One your push provider, and be able to get push notification from services that will get the push that will go through different push provider as well. So this is federated, and push platform can collaborate, communicate together, even if they come from different vendors. And this is something which is very important if we want push to become the core of the heart of the mobile platform.